Sometimes people wonder if you could ever make a case for any religious belief, if you could falsify or verify these kinds of claims, because really they can't imagine what kinds of evidence you could even offer. But it turns out, after working a number of crime scenes, you learn what counts as evidence, right? There are two forms of evidence: direct evidence, those are eyewitness statements, and indirect evidence, that's everything else. It's also called circumstantial evidence. And you might say, well, what counts in that second category? I mean, I know what eyewitnesses are, but what counts as circumstantial evidence? Pretty much everything. Pretty much everything that you can think of can be pressed into service at some, what I discover in the room, like a pencil lying on the floor. Why would a pencil? Well, it depends what kind of case it is. A pencil could be evidence. So everything I find in the room, in the crime scene, I can use that. I can at least assess it as its potential as a piece of evidence. What about stuff that's missing from the room? Yeah, that has evidential value too. Okay, what about stuff that the suspect says? Evidential value. Well, how about the stuff he didn't say? That's got evidential value too. Are you starting to see the pattern here? It turns out that really when you start thinking forensically, you start thinking like a detective, you start to read between the lines. And you start to look at everything for its potential as evidence. Maybe you haven't done that as a Christian. Maybe you've been reading through those words and haven't been thinking about the fact that the author of the gospel, that one you happen to be reading, made some choices about the words he picked. He also intentionally didn't pick other words. All of this has evidential value. Once you start thinking like a detective and you start reading the pages of Scripture, start looking at the evidence in creation, start looking at the evidence in our universe, the evidence of your own behaviors, of our moral beliefs, of your consciousness, of your free agency. Oh my gosh, everything now has the potential to be evidence. And once you do that, you'll have even greater certainty that Christianity is true because it actually stands up to the test. That's when you'll take a step from unreasonable through blind to a forensic